Hey, what's up? My name is Tackless, and today we're going to be doing a really odd tutorial on a world that I recently created that I thought it'd be fun to do a tutorial about because I'm not aware of too many worlds that do this. I made a local multiplayer combat world in Project Spark. Now you may ask, how is that possible? Project Spark doesn't allow multiple controller inputs, and that's correct. My rather bizarre idea is that two players hold either end of a controller, left side and right side, and each one gets one joystick, each one gets one trigger, each one gets one bumper. One side gets A, B, X, Y, one side gets block and or the D-pad. I'm not going to go over how to do those items right now, but I think they're pretty cool. So, this is the result. We've got two different characters. They can move past each other. They always look at each other. They can do combat. They can block independently. They get these items to heal or shock each other. And it's pretty cool. It's not great. I mean, the combat's not Super Smash Bros., even though I do take a couple of pieces from that. Oh yeah, and there's respawning and such. So, I thought it'd be cool to show you, partially to show you how to do this in case you ever get an odd idea, and partially just to show you, I don't know, how to work with different types of control setups. So, this is a world that I've created, and this is all wonderful and green and all that. So, we're going to make one in this Arctic setting right here. Let me disable the camera and whatnot. In case you don't know what I'm doing, I'm turning off these brains so that they do not function within the world. Turn that brain off. Turn left brain off. And turn right brain off. Sounds like I'm doing a science class or something. So what you're going to need is you're going to need a backdrop. The backdrop's not important. What is important is that the fighting ground itself is flat. And I'd highly recommend that you turn the grid on and make it a perfect straight line when you make your little path here for them to fight on. So, we have our two fighters, left and right. Doesn't matter what colors you pick, but it's good to make them look different in clothing and look different in color. So you can pick whatever colors you want. Alright, so step one, we have to place a camera. So I am once again going to turn snap on. Drop this pretty low to the ground, about right there. Place that, open it up. I'm going to do first person camera without controls. And to make sure that people focus on our characters and not the background, we're going to do depth of field. Now you can hover over the camera and see what the camera sees. So it looks like I could raise the camera up a little bit. That looks nicer. And let's make about there. Now, we can see what the camera sees right here without even a preview, which is super handy. So let's grab an object. I'm just going to grab a mushroom. Place it in line with our players. Put one over here. Put one over here. In line with our characters. Then I'm going to hover over the camera again. And it doesn't look like I can see either mushroom, so that's too far out. We're trying to get the mushrooms right at the edge of the screen. Doesn't matter what item you use, just some sort of marker that's small and easy to see. Still can't see it. Scooch in a little closer. The farther your camera is zoomed out, the bigger your arena will be. But in my experience, alright, so that mushroom on the right looks right. The one on the left's a little too far out. In my experience, two-player, you don't want a big arena or else they'll just run away from each other non-stop. There we go. Those two mushrooms are right by the outside. Now, if you guys have purchased the Primitive Shapes pack, you will have these wonderful, flat, thin objects. If not, you're going to have to use like a cube or something, which is a little more clunky. But it will still work. What we're doing is we're creating barriers. So I'm going to take this rectangle, rotate it, tip it up to here, place it, and then scale this bad boy up. Alright, saving. So, need to get it as close as I can to my players without overlapping them. So right there looks pretty good. Place that, go into it, appearance, visible off, cast shadows off. There we go. Then I'm going to copy, move it just a fuzz, and place. Now we're going to grab a square. Actually, you know what? Just to be simple, let's take one of these, shrink it back down. Let's see, rotate it, rotate it. There we go. Alright, so we're going to put these on just the outside of the mushrooms. That way the players can hit the edge of the screen, but not really go outside the screen. So now you should delete the mushrooms or whatever little block you were using. Alright, there we go. Now, I would recommend for the control scheme that I'm setting up that you make these, you have your characters only be able to do one jump. A double jump on my control setup's pretty difficult. So, we're going to properties, movement, jump, 1. There we go. Same over here. Jump 1. Now, if you were to try to have double jump, or you come up with your own control scheme, I would then recommend that you take these, copy and paste them, and make them much taller, so that there's no chance they could ever jump out. Alright, so let's take a look how this is looking, and make sure I got everything turned off right. There we go. So this is how it looks. I can't move my characters yet, of course, but this is how it's going to look, and they can move pretty much anywhere within that screen space. And the background, it's not important, but it looks nice. So, yeah. Let's get back to editing and start making our characters. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make left brain, and then I'm going to copy his brain over to right brain and modify it. So first, left, he's going to be on team 1. Team equals 1. Next, when left stick, he is going to move forward and backward only. That's the only way he can move. We are also going to make him yaw toward, in world picker, we need to select right. There we go. This means that he will always rotate toward right. Now I choose yaw instead of turn because it works a little faster. It's a little more reliable in this little tight situation. So I just had more success with yaw rather than turn. There we go. That's the very basics of it. Now, when left stick up, I should put started to in front of this. Started to. When started to, left stick up, we are going to jump. There we go. So, if you've ever played Super Smash Bros. For the Wii or Wii U, you know that you can tap up on the joystick and your character will jump. That's the same thing we're doing here. You could also press A or whatever to jump, but sometimes that was a little bit quicker. Alright, so that's jump. Now, when left trigger, we're going to do combat, attack, light. Then, when left bumper pressed, we are going to attack heavy with wind up. There we go. Then we're going to do, for a block, going to do D-pad, left direction, block. Now, in any fighting game, blocking has to have some sort of nerf to it or else people will start to turtle, and then it's pointless. So we're going to block reduction ratio of 0.9, meaning it will block 0.9 out of every 1 damage received, or 90% of damage. So that when you're blocking and someone hits you, you can survive 90% of the assault at you, which is a good block, but it prevents you from turtling because eventually your enemy will be able to kill you. So, yeah, that's the reduction ratio. That's the main point, I believe. Oh, when, this is just for fun because we're playing with, oh, I didn't mean to do that. because we're playing with left and right controls, and because the Xbox One has such an awesome controller, we can tell it, ignore is dead, when hit by attack. No. When attack hit. Let's do it this way. When attack hit, we're going to vibrate left trigger. We can vibrate each trigger independently, and that's great for what we're doing. Now, the death sequence, if you've gone over my older video on better lives and respawning, you know how to do my respawn animation and how to stay alive if you respawn in the midst of enemies. So, while I would like to think that your player 2 would be a nice person and not attack you viciously while you're down, I can't trust that. So, what we're going to do is when is dead, we're going to do death equals true. And when death equals true, we're going to call page 2. Or you could do, instead of 2, you could do call page next page. It doesn't really matter. So, next page. Here, we are going to do, for the sake of simplicity, I'm not going to have the respawn in the air. I'm just going to have them die and respawn where they die. So, we're going to count down 1, revive. There we go. Countdown 1, revive. Now, to show the other player that this character is currently invincible, after the countdown of 1, we're going to do a countdown timer of 0.5 loop. And then we're going to do hologram. If you've ever played any of the old NES games, heck, a lot of games, even modern games do this. Project Spark does this. When you take damage or you're invincible, you flash. That's to just show something changed with your health temporarily. So, while he's being revived, he's going to flash white until he stands all the way back up. So, he's going to flash white. Then, let's see, countdown timer. Let's do 3. We're going to do death equals false. Now, there's also one more very important thing that you might be saying. Tactless, where's the whole invincibility bit? And I'm getting to it. When we enter the page, started to combat properties, health defenses, invulnerable. Now, just putting this out there, the difference between invulnerable and immortal is invulnerable means you will not take damage. Immortal means you will not die, but you can still take damage all the way down to 1 health point. We want invulnerable. Equals true. Now, you may be asking yourself, why would you use immortal ever? Why not just use invulnerable? The reason that you'd use immortal is for, let's say, a boss fight. And at the end of the boss fight, you want a cutscene to occur. And you want to make sure that boss doesn't die. But you can get him down to 1 health point, which is as good as killing them. But it still doesn't actually kill them. That's the idea. So, invulnerability equals true. Now after the countdown timer of 3, started to false. There we go. That's pretty much it. That being said, 3 seconds may be a little short. And this page will allow the player to continue attacking while invincible. So, I thought there was some way that you could just make them so they won't attack, but I couldn't find it offhand when I was working with this earlier. So, if you happen to know a way in just a line of code so that they won't attack, let me know, and that'd be awesome. So, but this is the basic brain for left player. Now, one more thing, we need to go into his properties and make him so he will not be destroyed on death. which actually I think I've already done this because I copied and pasted him. But for your new character, make sure that Destroy on Death is turned off. It will have defaulted to on, but make sure you turn it off. There we go. Let's give him a quick test run. There we go. He jumps. Now I want to make that jump a little higher if you feel like it. He jumps. He attacks. He does a wind-up for his heavy. And as you can see, I can push him all the way to there, but I can't quite push him out of the screen. And I can go to here, but I can't quite go out of the screen. Let's see if I can get behind there. And I will always face him, but we haven't told right to face left yet. So, let's do that really quick. Alright, let's see. We're going to copy page 1. Paste it into right. Paste page. Then we're going to go back to left. Copy page. And go over to right. Switch page to the next page. Then paste page. Alright, so we need to make a few key changes here. Team should be 2. Left stick should be changed to right stick. Left stick should be changed to right stick. Left trigger should be changed to right trigger. Left bumper should be changed to right bumper. Left trigger vibrate should be changed to right trigger vibrate. And yaw toward left player. Then on this page, everything should be the same. So, there we go. Now, if you feel like it, you can always add a score system so that when they die, it increments a score. It's pretty simple to add. But, there we go. So we have our 2 players. Tap up on the joysticks, they both jump. Oh, I just realized that I forgot to switch the D-pad control out so that they both block with the D-pad. But they both jump, they both fight. And those flashes that you see on the screen are the players hitting the barricade that they're pinned in there with. Which, it's something you just kind of have to live with. It's not a bad idea, depending on what kind of combat system you want, is to make these attacks so that they don't have no... trying to think of the word here. No hit reaction. Because... Oh, there we go. Respawn animation. Was invincible most of the way standing up. That looks pretty good. Now let's kill red. Or right. Whichever. Goodness, right. Just die. There. Looks pretty good, doesn't it? So, yeah. Plus, you know, if your friend starts messing with you while you're incapable of attacking, you can always elbow him and jerk the controller away or whatever you do on the couch. I love multiplayer games on the couch. So that's something I feel the next-gen gaming is really starting to miss, is the couch gaming. Most games don't have split screen anymore, and it makes me sad. So that's why I made this world. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. Let me really quickly change right's block. And, hey, I kept this video under 20 minutes. That's better than I thought I'd do. Instead of D-pad left, because I want it to be the exact same on the other controller, I'm going to set it to B. Because if you look at your Xbox controller, the closest button to the joystick on the left side is left D-pad. The closest button, well, technically A and X are closer. But they're like mirrored of each other. Let's put it that way. The 2 control sets are mirrored of each other. So, I hope this tutorial was, well, helpful is an interesting term for it. I don't see many situations where you're going to use this. But hey, who knows what you're going to do with this. It's a different, interesting control scheme to think about. Just a fun tutorial. Played with it last night, thought it was fun, thought I'd upload a video. So, thank you guys for watching. I will see you guys later.